What is up, champs? Champion Trucker coming back at you with a new video. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Harold and Kumar. We're going to be looking at the cigarettes. We're going to be looking at the cigars. We're going to be looking at a girl who literally pulled out a vape from a porta potty. All that and more in this very compacted view of how smoking is prevalent within the trucking industry. Hit that like button. Also subscribe if you're new to become a champ. And if you like to support the channel and you've been here for quite a while, you should know that, hey, I've been demonetized. And if you would like to be one of the founders on my Patreon, the link will be down below. Dad, I know you're watching this video. You can spare a few dollars. Spare change. Spare change. But hey, if you can't, go ahead and hit that like button. It's free. It helps me. And let's go ahead and roll that intro. So as you champs know, I like to articulate a story through a few versions, video and articles. First thing that I want to introduce is Trucker Brown. If you are unfamiliar, which how are you a truck driver and never heard of Trucker Brown? But he's been doing similar content to what I do, more so on the podcast side. But he interviews a artist, rapper, I believe. I'm not going to mess up his name. I'm just going to call him VCR. But they do a sit-down talk where they're talking about the Harold and Kumar. If you don't know what Harold and Kumar is, it's the grass. It's the Bob Marley. It's the green stuff. All right, let's go ahead and watch this.
All right, so I can't smoke weed no more. I can't.
No, you cannot smoke weed. If you smoke weed, trucking companies were the most drug-tested hair follicle, one of the most in the job market. You could be...
Hate to cut him off, but I've gotten drug tested probably two or three times within 1 year. And then the prior year when I started with my company, I only got drug tested that one time. The variation is all over the spectrum when it comes down to your company. You could get pulled over by DOT and they're like, hey, you're doing an on-site inspection and we're also going to take some of your liquids. So just be prepared for that. And anybody that asked me on Instagram back when my YouTube channel was popping, they will always ask me, do I have to quit the green stuff? And I would always tell them, yes, you're going to have to. And you're going to have to wait a good long period to get that out of your system. You can do certain treatments and whatnot, but overall just wait it out, especially if it's a hair follicle test. But yeah, I got randomly drug tested quite often, so it is a thing.
Drug tested by DOT on the side of the road. You'd be randomly drug tested by your company any day, anytime.
Yep, that's what
y'all like yeah. CIA agents, damn.
No, that's CIA. It's like living like a monk. You also can't drink alcohol.
Ooh,
most of the time.
So you can't drink alcohol. I believe it's like 8 hours before hopping in front of a truck, and it's just I don't drink alcohol. And I don't smoke, and trust me, I've done that portion of my life. I don't miss it. I don't miss these little addictive things. I was also vaping, so that's something that the young adults were hip to, and it's a hip new thing. It's truly something that's destroying your body. But I'll let Trucker Brown finish this conversation.
Oh,
because if you can't have alcohol anywhere on the truck.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're out for 30 days and you're someone who likes to drink alcohol, you got to go 30 days without drinking alcohol.
Whoa.
A regular person is 0.8 to get a DUI. We're 0.2.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Like Dimetap. Like that's like a NyQuil.
Wow. I have to do a huge deep dive into alcohol consumption laws within the trucking industry. I just knew that, hey, if I got to drive a truck, I ain't touching the wheel. And that is wow. But we're going to pair that up with reasons why truck drivers even smoke cigarettes. In the first place, we're going to switch gears from the Harold and Kumar to now cigarettes. All right. So this is coming from tobaccofreelife.org, tfl.org. Smoking and truck drivers, one risk too many. Truck drivers have a stressful, challenging job and suffer from many health problems more often than the general population. This makes the link between smoking and truck drivers especially problematic, so helping them to quit should form a part of the comprehensive strategy to help improve their health overall. Smoking rates among truck drivers. The National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health conducted a survey specifically on long-haul truck drivers and found that a massive 51%, over half, might as well just say that, of truck drivers were smokers, in comparison to just 19% of the general population. And we covered this before. And the fact that the general population 19%, but of just that in the trucking industry is 51%. So we'll figure out why, but let's go ahead and see how people relax in their truck. So we have this truck driver. I'm not going to put out his information or anything like that, but we can see that he's about to take out a cigar. Let's go ahead and play it. I'm not going to play the audio, but cigars and truck drivers is actually a thing, if you did not know that. And it is a thing. And this is called On a Mission to Get This Money, #smoke break, #trucker. And we know why truck drivers do it. It releases stress, it keeps you awake and alert. And I'll give you guys my anecdotal story in the past. We'll see another one. This one is saying to smoke up. And he said, not about to lose my dang CDL for smoking that BS. And typically that's that. I had a long ago a buddy of mine. He would always say, I got CDLs. I was just like, what? What are you talking about? And to find out that, now I get it. That your CDL is your livelihood. You lose that, you lose your livelihood. But this is what's interesting. We go back here, and the guy says, "Go owner op. Don't gotta worry about that. LOL." And let's read the replies, because we can't even read the replies, because are we serious? Are we serious about that? You still get pulled over by DOT. So the next article that I want to break down is from, and this URL is very different, just due to the fact that this is a actual study that they did. It's ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. Hopefully I did not just activate myself as like an undercover agent right there with all those letters, but pretty much truck driver cigarettes, smoking and preferred smoking satiation methods. I hope I said that correct or incorrect. You could correct me if I'm wrong. But introduction, I did read it, so I'll summarize it. Pretty much, some studies, I'll read the beginning and then pretty much finish it off. Some studies show that truck drivers use tobacco and other stimulants to stay awake as they drive. And the rest talks about how it's an increased risk, and pretty much like that. The method was, this was a cross-sectional mixed method study. Participants were truck drivers recruited at a trucking company in Utah in 2019. They were individually interviewed, and they pretty much brought all that data, and this was the results. Reasons for smoking included staying awake, stress reduction, which we already talked about, or something to do while driving. Of the drivers surveyed, 68.8 were daily smokers, while 9, and this is Utah. And this was a old study, I believe back in 2019 that they did the study, and then they released it in August of 2020. But 68.8 were daily smokers, while 97% had smoked at least 100 cigarettes. 90% of that total 100, you at least smoke 100 cigarettes in their lifetime. That means the mean number of cigarettes per day, CPD, was 15 cigarettes a day, and 25 among those who had 10 or more CPD. 61% had made at least a quit attempt. So way over half tried to quit. And in addition to counseling or brief advice, 68% reported interest in using NRT, either gum or patches. And I'm going to tell you, I tried gum, patches. It just didn't work for me. Everybody's different. But again, I'll give you guys my anecdotal story. Conclusion: cigarette smoking is a public health problem among truck drivers. Our findings suggest that truck drivers are interested in quitting smoking. Like I said, and this is a study. Evidence-based intervention tailored to this population are needed to help them quit and reduce their smoking-related morbidity. Wow. Okay, so we're going to move on to how bad things are for, today's youth, and how it's going to shift from cigarettes to vaping. So let's go ahead and look how bad it is. So this video I found online is a girl in a porta potty, and one of my actual reels on Instagram took off from a porta potty, and also TikTok. But this is something just utterly, no words, disgusting. So let's check it out.
I found the vape.
So she dropped the vape in the porta potty. And that's where she said, I effing found the vape. And I'm going to tell you, this does not surprise me. The fiend does not surprise me. Some of the comments says foul. She's not addicted though. These vape fiends getting out of control. They addicted. What's their at? It's disgusting. But this is what's going to transpire within the trucking industry. And I hate to call it out. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't know if Trucker Brown still is in the truck, but he had a mod. And I'll tell you that the mod is actually way better of fiend type than these disposable vapes. And I can't even look at it. It makes me sick. Okay. So now we're going to look at the repercussions of cigarette smoking. Obviously, if they were to switch from cigarette smoke and then to vaping, it would probably be a lot better. But this is thecooldown.com. They track anything that has to do with outdoors, business, everything like that. So they more so outdoors. But they caught a woman captures terrifying moment. Driver starts forest fire with lit cigarette butts. Why are people still being so careless? And I'm going to tell you, I've seen so many truck drivers even smoking. This is what's crazy. I literally left so fast because I saw a truck driver smoking a cigarette at the fuel island. I was like, oh, nah, not today. Not today. But she captures it on video. If I could get the video, we'll see that. But Smokey Bear is right. Only you can prevent wildfires. His words are more than just a timeless message. They're a reminder to be environmentally responsible. Unfortunately, not everyone listens. A viral video shows how one driver careless action result in huge consequences. Rolanda, hopefully I said that right, I shared a frightening video on TikTok after a truck driver discarded cigarettes starting a roadside fire. Past a truck who threw a butt out the window started a fire right before our eyes. So she saw this fire passing by. They stopped, and they always put music that's going to be copyrighted, so I can't cover it. But that's all the damage from one cigarette butt. All that damage, and trust me, we cut down enough trees to waste paper. All these people now out here, I mean, it gives them a job, but still it hurts. And where is the truck driver to be seen? Nowhere. So I'm not too sure 100% if it was a truck driver. She could have just said, hey, it's a truck driver and blah, 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 and blame it on that guy. But more than likely, yeah, it's a truck driver going, it could be a regular driver. The video captures a growing fire with smoke and flames eventually consuming trees, bushes, and a significant amount of land. Rolanda shared an update in the comments 5 days after posting the video. Said, I checked this morning. It's out. Thank God. While the fire was eventually contained, a large amount of damage was done. It's extremely, oh my goodness. It's extremely unfortunate as human-caused wildfires like the one Rolanda shared are entirely preventable. If you guys want the full story, check it out. It'll be down in the description below. So I want to show you guys how common it is for truckers to be smoking and traveling. So we got cigars. We got some guy that got here early.
Clean my truck.
He's getting his cigar out, smoking. Again, I'm not shaming anybody. This is something that we just realized decreases stress, enhances alertness. Nice. What stick are you smoking? Trucker here. I have my sticks too. Thanks for keeping our country running. So it's a lot more people supportive of this. And we have another truck driver that is gonna be doing a punch hole. I forgot what they call it, but and smoking another cigar. So yeah. So this is the last thing that I want to leave you guys with before I give you my anecdotal and kind of reasons for me quitting, and then how you can quit. But the survey, this is from cdc.gov. If you're unfamiliar, CDC is pretty much everything with health. The survey also revealed that more than half of long-haul truckers were current cigarette smokers, over twice the general working population. 51, we already saw that, versus 19. Smoking increases the chances for heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, and cancer. Although most drivers average over 6 hours of sleep per 24-hour period, 27% of drivers average 6 hours or less of sleep compared to 30% of working adults. And trust me, we're going to be covering the sleep deprived of the truck driver. Just because they give you 10 hours doesn't mean that some twisted companies will use some of those hours. Your health is important, and I wouldn't be making this video if I wasn't a culprit of it. Trust me, I had my fair shares of alcohol, I had my fair share of cigars, and I had my fair share of vaping. Now, the ganja, the green, the grass, nah. I don't know. Nah. But number one, if you want to be a truck driver, come as clean as possible. If it's, the green stuff, the Harold and Kumar, give it up. You ain't going to White Castles. You might be delivering to them if you do food service, but trust me, the job is a lot. It gives you so much more than some grass could ever give you. Some stress relief or anything like that? Deal with it. Just deal with it. I know that sucks, but hey, you're talking to prior military here. Just get over it, man. If you're smoking cigarettes, you already know that, hey, there's been campaign after campaign showing you that it's just not the way to go. You're putting tar. You are literally killing yourself, frying yourself from this inside out. And I don't want to see people that are truck drivers that want to quit, and they're like, dude, I tried quitting multiple times. How do I do it? How did you do it? Because I was on something that is far harder to get off of, which is disposable vapes. Listen, I started from what Trucker Brown was doing, the cartridge. You fill it up with like this liquid vape juice, and then you start, and then poof, and it's cool. And then you can control the milligrams and everything like that and how much you put in there. But then it just doesn't hit so hard. So then you move on to something harder, which is disposable nicotine. And this is the thing. It's got a whole entire black market for young teenagers to get to. And it's sad. So how I stopped, it got to the point that I realized that, okay, hey, my daughter, she literally fell on my chest, right? Just fell. And we were playing around. She fell on me. And I realized it felt like that every time I got up in the morning. My chest felt that heavy, like 40, 50 pounds were on my chest. And I realized something's wrong. Something's really wrong. So I tried quitting like 20 times. And so in the video that I made, and if you guys want to see that video of me talking how a 27-year-old truck driver quit vaping, that'll be probably popped up right there. But this is the thing. I'll give you guys the condensed version. I decided to allot 14 hours. I slept for 12. Slept for 12, and I got to a location that doesn't sell disposable vapes. Now the withdrawal, I don't like. I thought that the withdrawals were going to be lasting for like long lasting damage. I was angry all the time. I had like shuddering and dizziness and confusion. I didn't know what was going on, but I broke through it. I almost 3 days later, almost. That was the longest I've ever done it. Before those 20 times, I couldn't last like half a day. But then what I did was 3 days later, I almost went to a gas station, and I was already home. I'm in my personal vehicle. I can go pick up a vape, but for some reason I just didn't pick it up. And now anytime I look at a vape, I want to throw up. I didn't do any kind of like, oh, I need a little hypnotism. Didn't need that. I just decided that, hey, I gotta be strong enough. I felt like I was gonna die. I felt like my heart was about to explode, but now I'm in my best peak physical shape that I've ever been in my life. Able to deadlift a crazy amount, squat a crazy amount, barbell, like curls and everything like that in the gym. And it's all due to the fact that I quit something that I knew I didn't need in my life. Society made it acceptable, just like the TikToks. They're like, hey, yes, you can wind down and get a beer, or you can smoke a cigar. And there is actually some things that help you with the cigar, like testosterone, but overall, it just does not matter. Cigars don't help your health. It's not an additive. It will subtract to you. It'll boost you in some areas, and it'll decrease you in others. But hey, you know what? I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I'm just a guy that's trying to help the people that actually want to be helped. You can comment down below and say, oh, no, you're off. You're off. No, I'm never going to quit. That's fine. But at least if there's one person that gains knowledge from this and I help them out, hey, I'm just glad for that. Make sure you hit that like button if you like the video, and also subscribe to become a champ today. And I'll catch all of you in the next one. Peace.